Scott here, and welcome to Daily Game Design. Has it been daily? No, it has not been daily. So my parents are leaving tomorrow, and I have been glad to prioritize spending time with them, and also prioritize getting my classes lined up. So I'm teaching online. I've had some kind of issues getting access to my textbooks, catching up on how the schedule's going to work. So, like, even today, I may stream shorter than usual just because I know my parents are coming back. I've spent the last like 2 hours working on my online classes. Finally got the videos posted and, the content moved around, everything in place. At least have something for my students to look over and to start getting them thinking about the class for the semester. So feel good about that. Got that out of the way, and now I can take a few minutes to stream. I make progress on Sugar Shack. Got a lot going on. I went to the space yesterday, where we're going to be having our mystery dinner theater. Really excited about that. It's just a great little venue. It's not fancy. We're going to have to find a few ways to sort of dress it up a little bit. But it's a space we get access to because of a friend of mine. And I'm just confident we'll get good people together, do some interesting things. And that's the point. So, yeah. Even today, I found myself having to kind of clarify some stuff in my own mind as we're dialoguing with the story team, to make some commitments about the flow of the evening, about what's the shape of the mystery. And the main thing for me is just keep it simple, dinner, some live performances, some intrigue to engage with, nothing crazy, nothing super complex, nothing that requires like professionals to come in and take care of stuff for us. The phrase I used was, we are going to be enthusiastically amateur, because we're just gamer friends wanting to do stuff for our other friends. So wanting to do fun things. And that's the point. We're not going to be making money off this. If we do, then it's going to get folded back into a meal for our volunteers, or just more events in the future. So it's just it's a model where, yes, it's not, maybe we shouldn't be spending time on it because we do need to be making money in order to live here. But it's just a cool thing to do for the community. I'm sure it'll be a nice time. It'll be an adventure. And anyway, looking forward to that. So the space is great. Our writing team, I'm excited about them. I actually went swing dancing last night with my parents. I talked to two of my friends who, one of them is theoretically on the writing team. We're going to meet tomorrow night to talk about the story. I'm excited. We're going to be like in person for the first time processing this stuff. And then I talked to another one. So the two people I talked to, they're multi-talented, and I think they'll be a great fit for what we're doing because they both like improv and acting, performing. They're both musicians, singers, and also dancers. So it's like this perfect package, because that's exactly what I'm dreaming of, is this speakeasy Prohibition era vibe with some swing dancing music going on, some mocktails, some fun, light gambling-esque games, a little story to interact with, a couple people, a few people getting up and swing dancing as a little kind of exhibition, a couple live jazz songs. I think that's perfect. I think we have the perfect little team for it. So I'm just excited about it. Yeah, it should be a really good time. By the way, I'm sorry if you hear me smacking. It's not that I want to be eating on stream. I've just been coughing, so I'm happy to try to push back on that cough with a cough drop. What else is going on? So yeah, I'll be transitioning back to the single life. Here's one thing I think is really, really cool. It's one of the many things that are cool about my parents. As you can imagine, I have had my own little frustrations and gripes and whatever with my parents, but they're really amazing people. Any problem with them is really a problem with me, in my view. They do their best. And here's one of the cool things about them. They always intend to improve the places they are. Wherever they are, they leave the place better than when they found it. And this is a set of values that was drilled into me. I'm not as practical as them. And I think I'm also not as thoughtful as them, in the sense that sometimes I'm just kind of caught up in my own, internal dialogue and kind of processing stuff. But they're really thoughtful people. They look around, they scan their environment for ways they can be helpful, for ways they can improve things. Now you can imagine that at times growing up in that type of scenario, that can be slightly frustrating if it comes to like, wait, I would actually like to learn how to solve these problems myself or how to work on these projects myself. Because they're so conscientious, they're so thoughtful that sometimes that can lead to stepping in and trying to solve problems that are not necessarily, and this is in my view, of course, but that are not necessarily their responsibility to solve. So that's my view of the situation. But at the same time, their hearts are always to improve, to leave the place better than they found it. And that was the case here. So they helped me reinforce my shelving, which is going to be huge. I'm going to be able to very comfortably and confidently store my games in my shelves out in the living room. They helped me replace my toilet paper roll. They just help clean up a bunch of stuff and organize things. And anyway, they're just very cool people, and I've been really grateful to have them here. Sometimes, I can be irritable and whatever, and it'll be interesting to have my own bed back and stuff like that. But overall, it's just been really cool. And it was really a fun highlight last night when we went dancing. I didn't realize my dad has never done swing dancing before. Of course, they, casually and for fun, they'll dance at a family wedding or function or something like that. But that's all just kind of like unstructured slow dance or just kind of moving around for fun. But the swing dancing, like the actual steps to rock step, triple step, rock step. My dad had never done that before. My mom has. My grandfather, my mom's side, took lessons and would dance with my grandmother. So, occasionally my mom would dance with my grandfather. But my dad, it was his first time getting the rhythm of the steps and, trying it out and trying to be comfortable learning something in front of people, which is not easy. And you can see him kind of get frustrated and, I lost my feet. And anyway, so there was a very nice moment. I actually got it on video this morning where my dad, he came out of the room and he's like, watch this. And then he does the kind of a clumsy rock step, triple step, rock step thing, and then realize, oh, wait, that's not. And then he fixes it, and then my mom gets up, and they practice together. It was very cute, very nice. So anyway, it's been a pleasure to have them here. But they're leaving tomorrow afternoon, so I'm going to be back to a little more of a regular schedule, hopefully a better sleep pattern, and that kind of stuff. Anyway, here I am with the Sugar Shack sell sheet. And my plan is to finish this up. I know I was just kind of in the middle of nothing interesting as I'm making adjustments here. And the reason is I'm simply just replacing photos and double checking language and stuff like that. My intention is to be prepared to make a preview video and to start sending this game around because I'm more and more confident that the game works. I'll probably also send the game back over to my friends at the player layer. That's Ivan and his developer buddies. It's right here, the player layer. I actually had them do, I think it was like an hour or two of playtesting and feedback back when the game was much less mature. Very helpful. Also really great like min-maxers, people who can like analyze the game state, kind of break it down, look for broken strategies and imbalances and you know what's like the lack of a good choice. Like they're really sensitive to that stuff. So I'll probably send it back over to them. I think it was like 75 for the session or something, $75 for the session. Well worth it in my view. I'd be excited to have them have a look at it now that I think it's working better, that it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. So I'm going to just drop some more images in and just kind of roll with what I've got here. So I think these sections are kind of finished. Although I don't love that these are not. Yeah, this made more sense when the town like woke up, that I don't have anything here in these corners. But maybe I don't need this at all, actually. Let me see what happens if I remove these things here. And then what I can do is like show that this card would essentially like cover Yeah, I think this might even be better. Because they don't really need to see the layout. They just need to see that one card is covering another. So I need to figure out how to represent that clearly. It's great because I can also have bigger cards now. So the valuable bonus is over here. And this is the blocked location now. So what I can do is I can spread these out a little bit. Oh, that sounded fun. You know what I can also show here is a condition. Yeah, I can move this whole thing. Costs. So costs and conditions, block location. I need an arrow. Try this one. And I kind of like having a little shadow here, right? Like that's nice, right? And I could even do these little arrows, honestly. Hmm. Kind of like these curvy ones. And then can just do the same. So can I flip this? I can, okay. So if I ungroup them, I can flip both of them. Interesting. Okay. That certainly is what I want. So blocked location. Right. And then do the valuable bonus right here. Slightly unfortunate that this card is so orange, right? So maybe I should change this color. Hmm. One second. Hmm. Okay. Okay, so we're having a slight connection issue. Not too bad. It might be nice to blow this whole thing up and kind of move it down and just kind of figure out where it can fit. Because I don't love well, I would prefer that, okay, 14, that this stays the same kind of size. But yeah, this color is not working out super well. And then this looks like it'll be better over here. Yeah, the color's just not really working for me. Not sure why. Right, I feel like something about this is not very legible with this color. But if everything's blue, I don't know about that either. Right? Or if everything is yellow, like that would have a weird, like, honeybee thing. I like the drabness of the color scheme I had before. But I can imagine that maybe that's not awesome. Yeah, but I don't like how difficult it is to read. Oh. These are my class announcements. Like purple doesn't make any sense. What about a dark brown? Would that be just ugly? Would that just be super ugly? Whoa. Trying it out, just as they say, trying it on for size. Let's just see about the contrast, I think, is partly why I'm doing this. You know what I could do is have like different colors of maple syrup. I think that's kind of what my thinking was at first. Which would not be so dark. Also, this could be a little bit too... I just lighten it just a little bit. Is it... kind of there? It's a little too orangey. I don't know, maybe it's fine. Cost and condition, valuable bonus, blocked location. Oops. I wonder why I didn't grab both of them. Oh, what? This could be maybe slightly smaller. Yeah, okay. Okay, now I don't hate this. I don't know if this is a great idea, though. Like, I doubt everything should be brown like this. What about gray? What about brown and dark gray? That's actually kind of a cool gray. Like, that's actually interesting, right? And as long as the... Wait. Nope. This one should be this gray. It's actually kind of interesting. The black is in the background and the gray is... And then maybe do another... Wait a second, why? This is gray, but now the stroke size changed. So. Maybe not a super good idea. But okay. I kind of like this adjusted color scheme. Is it a scheme yet? No. But it's on its way. So I think I can just alternate, maybe. Yeah, make this one. Now, what gray was it? This one? I think it was. pretty far from oh, maybe it's collect the most trophies from the town's folk to win. Exclamation point? Maybe not. But that does make this collect the most trophies. Race to collect. Yeah. This. Huh. Four could make sense here too. Okay, now I need to find some other. Oh, this is important. What size are you? I don't really understand this. 0.98 inches wide? Why do they do that? Wait. Let me lock this. Okay, so 168, I guess. It's just not getting the. Oh, I guess I can just put in the other community projects I'm working toward. Where are they though? Huh. I know I dropped them in somehow. Oh, okay. Oh, I guess I could try the track. Let's see. So I can do the tracks. Oops. For example, the tracks and the hardware store, and also what is it? The gift shop. Okay, and then these can be dropped down to 168 as well. Along with this, oh, I could do this in frames actually. This is in frames. Where do I get them actually? I can also, okay, cool. I can outline them. That's good. And pick a color. Okay, so I can do this. Something like that. I wonder if I can just do this. I can. Perfect. That. And it's not like they're gonna know like which cards these are exactly, but they'll get the idea, I guess. That there are a bunch of ways to get these. At least I hope. Also, this town hall is outdated. Didn't realize that until just now. So bye-bye. Nope. Yeah, I think what I need to capture here is just the idea that there are lots and lots of ways to get trophies. I think that's happening, right? And I can see that I could be orienting these a little differently, probably. Oh, and there's another source too. Where is it? The Cervic. Oops. Just can rotate down. I'm doing this so that I can bring this and set them. Oh, I guess I could also have like one sitting above. That's kind of interesting, right? And I could probably inflate all of these. That looks kind of dumb, maybe. Like maybe not a great use of space. Hey, Seth. Why is the 1, 3, 4, 5, 9 going to be changed to 1, 2, 3, 4? It's you know what? There's a word that I usually have a hard time remembering, and that is vestigial, and I don't know why that's hard for me to remember. But let's just say it's vestigial. Let's change it right now. Let's do it. 2, 3. Look at it, how satisfying. How satisfying. Yeah, I still don't love this, but it's kind of interesting, I guess. So these can slide up here. Maybe this one can come over. Yeah, I'm just trying to get my cell sheet updated for the most part. Now everyone can feel better. These don't have to be all the same size either. But I think this is pretty clearly like illustrating the trophy situation, right? Like they're all pretty prominent in the images. This one could be better. Race to collect the most trophies and the townsfolk to win. I'm going to go brown with these again and see how this goes. Does brown have a bad rap? You know what I mean? Do people just not like brown anymore? Or did they ever like brown? Is it a weird color for ooh, what color is this? Okay. That's not what I meant to do. Brown arrow, I think. Not at all. Yeah. People can enjoy brown. Not sure if I'm super sold on this gray brown thing going on, but maybe it's fine. Like, does this not stand out enough? Right, number 3. So I feel like these should, it's part of whole nature, earthy, comforting. Yeah, okay. Yeah, fair enough. I wonder if these should stand out more, the 1, 2, 3. I kind of feel like they should. For work. Yeah. Making that money. On your turn, place workers to activate location effects to activate locations. Do you activate a testing and finishing up the last features in Force Commander? Cool. Yikes. Do you activate locations or activate location effects? I feel like you activate location. Claim powerful upgrades. Yeah. This is gone. I do like how this is lining up for now. It's not perfect in the mod, but the way these sections line up, I was pretty happy with. One looks really big on these. I guess it is what it is. I'll just move this for now. Okay. This can go away. So you're close. That's good. I think this can go away because I'm not actually getting that far. Where'd it go? Like this is still covering up a lot. It's basically like that. So that works. Potentially. Yeah, still pretty busy though, I think, over here. I mean, just having so many like little kind of card layouts, cards laid out, trying to show something. I feel like that's not great. This can still go over here and like hang off. Okay, well, I can definitely lay out the game and see if that's worth the space it'll take up. This should have an outline. This too. I'm trying to keep everything separate, but there's just not much breathing room here. And then I keep obsessing with this little group of trophy bubbles. So get rid of that so I can squeeze everything a little bit closer. Yeah, so I feel like this can hang off rid of that. This can hang off a little more. Which means I think it means I can resize it, but let me try moving this up now. Yeah, I feel like that's working okay. And this is still evenly spaced, which I also like. You enjoy this or just accept that it's the thing you need to do. Yeah, I remember thinking about this when we were working on the other cell sheet. I think it matters. I do think it's like a necessary evil kind of thing. I don't think I'm great at it, which is kind of what not what I'm doing. Yeah, I know. I think it's like so I really like trying to find ways to more clearly communicate stuff. And I actually taught a class on multimodal composition for 3 semesters, I think. That's when I was doing my doctorate at UB. And so it was like my first academic writing class I taught. And I thought it's really cool that it was actually including like if you were to build a website, or like what happens to information when you squeeze it into different forms. So I think that is a really cool problem. And that's obviously what's going on here. Your doctorate program, did you graduate? Yeah. Yeah, I have a PhD in education. I guess. I didn't. Seth, sometimes I don't know what you don't know. So I don't, there's not really much need to talk about it. I don't feel like I hide it, but I guess maybe we just never talked about it. Yeah, so I finished in 2020 in January, and then I moved over here, and then when everything shut down with COVID, there weren't like the job opportunities I was looking for just never went anywhere. The jobs I applied for, I just didn't like getting, like kind of like UH or teaching. Yeah, I think I applied for somewhere between 50 and 100 like university positions, and just didn't hear back for pretty much from most of them. I got one interview out of all that, and I could have applied for a lot more, but at that time with COVID, everything was changing. My research was irrelevant. I wrote about the expectations and experiences of international students at a boarding high school. And suddenly, with COVID, all of that was pretty meaningless because international students weren't welcome. Oh, interesting. Yeah. I think, well, just to maybe help adjust your perception a little bit, I think in education PhD, like there are definitely, in my understanding, there are like different fields where getting things like this are more or less difficult. I think a PhD in education is one of the easier PhDs to do. And I can affirm that partly because my dissertation was based on interviewing 9 students for 21 hours, which in my understanding is like very little data. And I didn't analyze it in any like super rigorous way. I did some like discourse analysis stuff. Like looked some like descriptive statistics of the, like I tried to find interesting stuff, and so I did find ways to like look through the interview content or data for like patterns and stuff, but it was not technical. You know, I didn't learn any coding or any crazy software to like do the analysis. A lot of it was reflective, a lot of it was descriptive. So it's not like, you know, anybody would really, like any prestigious periodical or university would care a lot about what I did. Also, it's private, it was private education. And I went through a public university setting, and I just, you know, over time I came to understand that private education threatens public education. So for various reasons that I wasn't aware of at the time. Ooh, that's not great. And I get it now. I mean, I spent, you know, a fair amount of class time trying to understand what the main issues were with private education. But the research I did in that setting wouldn't necessarily be interesting to a public university. So I did look at like I applied for some things, positions in other like private Christian universities. Just anyway, so here I am working on games. Surprise. It's been cool to teach online these last few semesters because I do like teaching. I don't love classroom education. So subbing has been awesome for me because it's still like fun to like get to know the students a little bit. It's still kind of cool to be plugged in a little bit to what's going on in education broadly. Because I still like the problems that come along with people learning and developing. That's why I love games. That's why teaching games, that's my favorite element of games. Yeah. Enjoy teaching, but the current US teaching paradigm is intolerable for me. Yeah. Same. That's why we're playing games, Seth. That's why we value these kinds of experiences, like the feelings that people have and the growth people see when they're playing an RPG, like whether they know it or not, or whether they're, you know, trying to make sense of some other game. Like I think you probably, with your teaching background and interest in language and stuff, you're probably sensitive to it, but we see the relevance and the value of play. And so then to see the grind in the classroom and the pressures inside and outside with like high stakes exam taking, or like dealing with all the standards from elites that are not necessarily in schools, like it's all very tiring. And you know, packing kids into classrooms is not that interesting, and kids coming in with phone addictions and us having no solutions is also not fun. So anyway, I prefer learning outside of the classroom for sure. Don't tell anybody I said that in case they're looking to hire me. I don't know. It's one of the reasons though that I've definitely settled into and really come to enjoy this season. Like teaching online's been great. Stressful occasionally, but in general, it's been very positive. Um, because it's so flexible and I still get to interact with students, get to engage with interesting and big ideas. That's what I like. Um, but then to have the flexibility to also be doing this pretty much every day and hosting gaming events and, playing games as much as possible, like all that is so good. I disagree with a lot of this game is educational rhetoric. Not in every case, but I think it gets thrown around more than the evidence suggests it should. Okay. Yeah, so actually this reminds me, just last night I went swing dancing again. My parents were with me and we went over where I was going a month ago. And also with the opportunity cost of that time and resource, yeah. So it reminded me that I chatted with a lady who does teacher education last night. We're off to the side, just kind of we danced the song and then chatted for a little bit. And so she brought up gamification. She recognized that it's like a buzzword. I prefer not to. I don't like what I think people mean. I don't like what it is that people are doing with gamification because I think it's really only about extrinsic motivation systems. So like how to make kids want to do math by letting them play games where they score points or whatever. I don't think that's interesting. I don't think that that's what you're commenting on, but it just reminded me of that. So yeah, the game is educational. I could see people play games for different reasons. Escapism is fine with me. Just socializing is fine with me. Also, I guess when if you say educational, is it just like the content? Did you learn something about history, or about how electricity works, or geography, or whatever? That's not why I play games. Is to like learn things. But one of the reasons I play and have fun with games is that I know that I'm better because of games. So I've grown into somebody that I like more because I play games. Just the ways I have to practice thinking, interacting with other people, learning to break things down, to solve problems cooperatively. All of these things I do better now that I've been playing for a long time. Got to go to a meeting in a minute, but I heard a lot playing D&D. Yeah, I'm with you. That's almost like how do you get in the door, right? Oh, hey, let's just call it real mathy. But then let's forget about all that. Let's just play D&D. And if we do some math, cool. Anyway, cool. Good hanging out with you, Seth. I'll talk to you soon. Enjoy your meeting if you can. How am I missing this? Thank you. I don't know why I keep missing these two arrows. Yeah, my parents will be back shortly. I'm certain of that. So I like what's happening here. I could probably. Is this the right shape? Maybe not. I don't know. Would it be better if you knew this was a circle? Maybe. That's fine. Yeah. So I guess the thing that remains is to figure this area out and just like replace all the images and stuff. Figure out the sizing as well. But I overall feel good with these changes. Yeah, it's okay. Is this outlined? There is some kind of outline, right? Yeah. Maybe it's a little too transparent for my taste. Okay, yeah. I wonder if I can create a shadow. Probably, right? I like their little organizer there. That's the first time I saw like folders like that. Yeah, I think I hear my parents. Okay, so that's it for me. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you soon. Hello, hello.